All right, guys, so here we have a 2016 Jeep Patriot. It's in much need of some love here. We're going to do a full detail on this thing. I'm just going to go through the process. As you can see here, heavy water spots, not much gloss at all. It looks pretty nasty, but we can save it. It's going to take some work, but I'm going to show you the products that I use and a few of the steps in the process so you guys can do it at home. So check this out. The vinyl on the front here has like no gloss to it whatsoever. It looks pretty dirty. Show you the wheels here. The wheels are also pretty dirty. Just some pictures here. The hood, gloss reading low on the hood. Gloss reading on the hood again, pretty low in the 70s, and another on the front bumper, 66. That's really low. So here we have my favorite cleaner I use on my tires, Black Magic. This stuff works awesome, and it's also fairly inexpensive compared to some of the other products. So I'm just gonna apply it to the tire here, let it set for a few seconds. Then I'm going to grab something to apply to I'm going to fill the bucket here first. Some Dawn dish soap, awesome for degreasing and removing waxes and stuff. That's what we're trying to do here, is just decontaminate. Then just some wheel cleaner I had in the garage. That's Jay Leno's. Nothing special about it. Just had a full bottle of it, wanted to use it. It works pretty well. Didn't have any issues there. So I apply that to the wheels. Make sure I'm getting inside around the lug nuts and all the areas where the brake dust might have built up. And just going to show you the brush I use here. Scrub the tires and just basically clean the wheel here. And I use various different brushes to get inside the wheel, rinsing them all off each time before I put it back in the bucket or anything like that. And just going to scrub the wheels up real well. Got special, smaller brushes to get around the lug nuts and just make sure I'm getting everything off now while I have the wheel wet and I have the cleaner on there, and then I just rinse it off. All right, so here I'm just going to show you guys the inside of the wheel well. It's pretty dirty. I like to clean those too, especially on vehicles that are higher up and allow, the inside of the wheel well is very visible. I take that Black Magic cleaner again, and I just spray that on the plastic and just scrub it with the brush and just get all the grime out of there. And you can even put, a Cerakote ceramic coating, trim coat or whatever. You can put that inside the wheel well, and that'll make it look brand new once you've cleaned it off. So I like to use a lot of brushes. They really help you get inside the cracks and the grooves and stuff of the vehicle. So I just go down the side of the vehicle here with the brush, just scrubbing the plastic, getting around the emblems with the smaller brush, and then around the plastic trim, places where the dirt had built up. I use the brushes to get in there real good. And then just giving the vehicle a real good scrubbing with my microfiber wash mitt and the Dawn dish soap mixture in the bucket. Just getting a lot of good suds on there. Making sure that I'm being very thorough, because the last thing you want to do is get it all dried off and clean and then realize you left a bunch of dirt on there and have to get it wet again. So just take your time, do a good job, scrub it down, get in all the areas, and just make sure you keep your mitt clean. I continuously rinse it off. So then once I dried the vehicle, I spray some iron remover on. I like to do this process before I clay bar it, just to make sure the clay bar is not rubbing any of that around. So I'll bring you in close here, and you guys can see the purple spots. I get close enough up here, you can actually see some of the little purple specks is where it's dissolving the iron. Dissolving the iron out of the paint. Like right here's a good shot. You can see real close some of the little specks, like the darker colored spots. That's dissolving the iron right there. Definitely don't want to overlook the glass. This car has a lot of water spots built up on the windows. That's one of my favorite products. Works really well, and it cleans off with water really well. They actually recommend you use water to clean it off. So if you got the hose out still, you can rinse it off with the hose afterwards, like I do right there. Cleans almost all of it off. I use a microfiber to dry it. You can use a damp microfiber if you don't want to get the hose out. But you guys can see here, once it starts to dry up, those water spots that were there, there's nothing left. It just dissolves them. You can actually see it happen while you're rubbing it in with the pad that you use to apply it, or whatever you apply it with. This stuff's awesome. And just another spot here on the windshield. The water spots like to build up there, especially where the windshield is has black on the back of it. The water spots really stand out, so I like to focus on those areas along the bottom and the sides of the windshield. The windshield wipers do a pretty good job at keeping water spots away from the other areas of the glass, but these areas are trouble spots for water spots. So again, just with that hard water spot remover by Chemical Guys, rubbing it in real good, and then just using a little bit of distilled water in a squirt bottle, and the microfiber does an awesome job cleaning it right up. All right, so now it's time for a little clay bar action. I'm just using some of this quick detailer right here and some clay, detailing clay. You can use any quick detailer, any detailing spray, spray wax, soapy water, whatever you really want to use. Just something that's going to lubricate the clay bar underneath the surface of the clay. You just want something to keep the clay from sticking, and you want to be able to slide across it. You can use anything you got pretty much. Just as long as it's going to provide a slippery surface for that clay to glide across. So again, just being really detailed, getting in all the grooves around the emblems, around the trim. Yeah, and I ended up doing the whole car. I'm just showing you guys little bits and pieces here, so you don't got to watch me do the entire thing. All right, now we get into the good stuff here. Got my 3D1 compound, an orange pad by Country Lake. It's a Country Lake orange light cutting pad. I'm just going to dab it on the hood, do one spot at a time. I do end up using the larger 6-inch buffer in some of the other areas. I just wanted to test it out. I like to do a test area first just to see how it's going to react to the pad/compound combination. I was fairly happy with the result of this. I do end up using a yellow pad in some of the other areas, which is Lake Country's medium cut pad. But the pad's what's going to do most of the work. The compound, it doesn't matter as much as the pad, believe it or not. So then I'm just going to wipe it down with a microfiber here, and you guys can see right there, just from that one spot, really added a lot to the gloss. And again, well, this step, I performed this step after I wiped the vehicle fully down again after clay barring. I did wipe the hood with some isopropyl just to make sure I didn't have anything left on there before I started hitting it with the pad and compound. I'm just going to do this next spot here where the vinyl is to see. I thought about taking the vinyl off for the customer, but I was actually able to save it. By the time I put a ceramic coating over the entire thing at the end, the vinyl looked great, so I didn't end up taking it off. Just be careful when you're buffing around the vinyl and stuff like that. Do a test area first. You want to see how the vinyl is going to react to the pad. You don't want to damage it. So I did end up doing the whole vehicle this way, and it turned out awesome. Once you get all the contaminants out of the paint and you buff it, you can really bring back a lot of shine. Don't be afraid to use the water spot remover on the paint as well. I did use it on the front bumper to help me before I buffed the front bumper because it had a lot of water spots on it. So I did lay down a ceramic coating, but look at the gloss difference right here. 94, we were at 75, I think. When we started, we were at 66 on the front bumper, now 92. And here's an overhead shot of what the car looks like now. I mean, it is just, the gloss is insane. It looks like a different colored car. It looked pink before with all the water spots and all the contamination on the paint. Here's a shot from the side. It almost looks like a brand new car. Customers are super happy when you do this to their vehicle. All right, but that's going to do it, everybody. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more. Links will be in the description for some of the products that I used. And yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for the support. Talk to you later.